Here we go again. Crystal Palace chief makes Oliver Glasner admission amid Man United links. Manchester United are keen to stick with Rúben Amorim for now, but if they were to change their mind, Crystal Palace's Oliver Glasner is thought to be high on their wanted list. Crystal Palace chairman Steve Parish has stated that early conversations have taken place with Oliver Glasner over a new contract, but admitted that the Austrian manager is ambitious and wants to win more trophies amid links with the Manchester United job recently. United have been heavily linked with replacing Rúben Amorim after another tough start to the season. The victory over Sunderland prior to the international break relieved some of the pressure from his shoulders. This was followed in midweek by Sir Jim Ratcliffe openly stating that he would like to give Amorim 3 years to see if he can succeed. However, there is no indication as to whether this stance is indefinite, especially if United do not return to European football next season. If Amorim were to be replaced, Glasner has emerged as one of the favourites to take over. The Austrian has impressed at Selhurst Park, having won the FA Cup last season, and led Palace to a club record 19-game unbeaten run, which was only ended by Everton last weekend. Glasner's deal with the Eagles is due to expire at the end of this season, and as of yet, there has been no sign of a new deal being agreed. When asked by TalkSport about his manager's future, Parish revealed that talks had begun and remain ongoing. "We've had some early conversations," Parish explained. "We would love to keep Oliver, we're building something." However, Parish did also admit that Glasner is an ambitious manager and is targeting further silverware in his career, having taken Palace to the first major trophy in their history. "I think for Oliver it's about the conditions being right," Parish added. "It's about everything being in a way that he enjoys his work and he finds the conditions favourable to achieve. Oliver wants to win things. He makes no secret of that. That's what he is in football for. So if we can align those interests, then hopefully we can make something happen." Glasner himself was asked directly this week if he would be interested in taking the United job if it was offered to him. Glasner chose to sidestep the questions about his future last week. "As I said, I try to keep it at bay, whether I'm successful or unsuccessful, partly for self-protection," he replied after picking up the Coach of the Year award at Austria's Sporthof Gala. "A few years ago, I got into the habit of living in the here and now and enjoying it. It's simply better when you don't lose 19 games than when you don't win 19. Then the atmosphere at the training ground in the morning is simply better. Everything is easier. I'm no less ambitious, no less demanding, and just as annoyed when we lose like now. Even if it was the first defeat in 6 months, I'm one of the worst losers in the world, and I'm still annoyed about it today." Here at the Man United News, we are dedicated to bringing you the best Manchester United coverage and analysis. What does it truly mean to be at the heart of Manchester United today? Behind the flashing cameras and post-match smiles, there lies a deeper storm brewing, a storm of expectation, ambition and fear. Rúben Amorim, once hailed as the new philosopher destined to restore the club's fallen glory, now stands at a crossroad where belief meets doubt. The recent victory against Sunderland was not just 3 points. It was a sigh of relief, a fragile breath in a season choking with scrutiny. But everyone inside Old Trafford knows this is only a pause before the next question. How long can patience survive without progress? In the echo of that question, one name keeps rising: Oliver Glasner. The Austrian tactician who turned Crystal Palace from survivors to believers, who lifted the FA Cup with quiet precision and fearless tactics, is no longer just a Premier League outsider. He is a man whose methods whisper the language Manchester United once spoke: organisation, courage and the art of revival. Glasner's Palace did not play for sympathy, they played for meaning. And in doing so, they caught the eyes of those in red. Yet football, like fate, is never simple. United's management insists they want stability with Amorim. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, ever the strategist, believes in the power of time. 3 years, he said, a statement that sounded both generous and cautious. But can time heal what tactics cannot fix? The clock ticks differently in Manchester. Each draw, each missed chance, each whisper of discontent from the stands makes 3 years feel like 3 decades. Behind closed doors, analysts debate what Amorim truly represents. Is he a visionary trapped in transition, or a tactician struggling to connect with the Premier League rhythm? Fans, emotional and divided, argue endlessly. Some still see the spark, the vertical play, the daring midfield rotations, the intention to build something fresh. Others see confusion, inconsistency, and a team still haunted by its past. The ghosts of Ten Hag, Solskjaer, Mourinho and Van Gaal still wander through the corridors, reminding everyone that philosophy alone never saves Manchester United. Results do. Then comes Oliver Glasner, patient, precise, and quietly ambitious. His story at Palace reads like a modern parable of belief. From the first day, he taught his players not just how to defend, but why they defend. He turned fear into discipline and discipline into courage. When Palace lifted the FA Cup, it wasn't merely a trophy. It was a declaration that underdogs can rewrite their destiny. Could such a man, so methodical and composed, truly fit the chaotic symphony of Manchester United? This is where the conversation becomes fascinating. Glasner's football is not built on stardom but structure. He believes in balance, the perfect harmony between attack and defense, between freedom and responsibility. At Palace, every player knew his role. No ego stood above the plan. Compare that with United's current identity crisis, and the temptation grows stronger. The question fans now whisper is simple. Is Glasner the calm before the next great storm, or the calm that finally tames it? There are also deeper layers. Glasner is known for his emotional intelligence, his ability to understand players as human beings first, athletes second. Those who have worked with him describe him as relentless but empathetic. He demands perfection, yet never from a place of arrogance. In an era where dressing rooms can fracture under pressure, that balance might be exactly what United crave, but ambition cuts both ways. Glasner's own chairman, Steve Parish, admits it. Oliver wants to win things. That single sentence carries the weight of destiny. For if Glasner dreams of more, how long can Selhurst Park hold him? Meanwhile, Amorim's story continues in parallel, a man still searching for his rhythm in England. His methods, once so elegant at Sporting Lisbon, have met resistance in a league that punishes hesitation. Some insiders believe the players still need time to fully adapt to his complex patterns. Others claim his system, so reliant on fluid movement, lacks the physical edge Premier League football demands. The Sunderland victory showed flashes of life, quick combinations, energy, purpose, but can one match erase months of doubt? The tension builds not from what's known, but from what's possible. United's board faces a philosophical dilemma. Should they remain loyal to a long-term project or yield to the allure of a proven rebuilder? Fans crave identity, but they crave silverware even more. Could Oliver Glasner truly carry that burden, the burden that has broken so many before him? Every great Manchester United story begins with a question of belief. When Sir Alex Ferguson once said, "Football bloody hell," it was not just an expression of shock. It was the essence of the club's spirit, unpredictable, passionate, unbreakable. Amorim's mission was to restore that unpredictability into something purposeful. Glasner, on the other hand, represents control, precision, and peace. Can Manchester United ever truly live in peace? Or are they destined to thrive only in chaos? At the heart of this debate lies something deeper: culture. Manchester United is not just a football team, it is a theatre of ambition, a mirror of pressure. Every manager who walks into Old Trafford inherits not just players, but history, expectation, and millions of watching eyes. Glasner knows this. When asked recently about his unbeaten run, he smiled humbly and said, "It's better when you don't lose 19 games." Beneath that calmness lies fire, the kind of fire United need, but must control carefully. If this season continues with mixed results, the questions will grow louder. Journalists will speculate, fans will argue, and pundits will draw lines between every Palace goal and every United mistake. The story will write itself: Glasner's rise, Amorim's uncertainty, and Manchester United's eternal search for balance. But inside Carrington, where reality replaces rumour, the decisions are far more delicate. Replacing Amorim too soon could restart the same cycle of chaos that has haunted the club for a decade. Waiting too long could waste another generation of talent. So what is the answer? Perhaps it is not about choosing between Amorim and Glasner, but about rediscovering what Manchester United truly stand for. Passion without purpose is noise. Strategy without soul is machinery. The great United sides combine both the heart of youth, the courage of leadership, and the wisdom of the collective. Whoever leads next must understand that truth not as history, but as responsibility. Fans watching from all over the world feel that pull, the desire to see their club rise again. They remember the nights of glory, the comebacks, the drama. And as they scroll through headlines of uncertainty, they silently hope that this time, the club will choose vision over panic. Glasner may represent a future of control. Amorim still represents unfinished business. The story is not about who replaces whom, but whether United will finally stop replacing and start rebuilding. The next few months will be decisive. A single injury, a single defeat, or a sudden winning streak can rewrite the entire narrative. That is football's poetry, unpredictable yet strangely fair. Glasner's calm pursuit of progress at Palace continues to echo across the league. Amorim's fight for belief continues to define his legacy. Both men walk separate paths, yet both are being measured by the same heartbeat, the pulse of Manchester United. And when the next whistle blows, when the next rumour spreads, when the next headline screams change is coming, remember this: Manchester United's story has never been about managers alone. It is about the soul that refuses to fade. The fans, the hope, the legacy. Amorim might stay, Glasner might come, but the real question remains, will Manchester United finally rise not from fear of failure, but from faith in their identity? For now, we watch, we wait, and we wonder, because somewhere in the silence between victories and defeats, destiny is being rewritten. And perhaps, just perhaps, the next chapter of Manchester United's redemption is already in motion, hidden beneath the noise, waiting for the right man to bring it to life. If you believe in football beyond the headlines, in stories of struggle and comeback, then stay with us. Subscribe, share, and join our community, because here we don't just report the news, we live the heartbeat of Manchester United, one story at a time.